What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. This is episode number 10. We're here. It's me, Matt Wells, Kendrick Johnson over there. You guys already know him. And we do have a special guest on with us today. Somebody that just headlined a little UFC show. You may or may not know him. But the man, Kevin Lee, is on air with us right now. What's up, Kev? How's it going, man?
What's going on, brother? It's good to be here.
Man, appreciate you coming on the show, man. We tried to get you a couple weeks ago. We figured like he working on making Michael Chiesa car to it on his mom's shoulder. So we saw what you were working with.
Yeah. You know how it is. You know, I gotta keep my head down, stay in the sand a little bit. You know.
Absolutely, man. So it's been a busy weekend for you. You just got back into Vegas, man. So obviously, you know, everybody's talking about the controversy of the fight, how everything went down. You've had a few hours to digest it. You said you hadn't really slept yet, but, you know, having some time to digest the moment of your first headlining fight, how does it feel given the air controversy? I mean, you still happy with how everything went down?
Yep. You know, I still don't think there's no controversy to it, you know? Like, I think it's even more set in stone now. The more I watch it, the more, you know, people, like, tag me in and I see it in film. It was set in stone, you know. He was defending a choke. You know, and then he stopped defending. You know, that's the name of the game. Is once you got to defend yourself at all times. Once you stop defending, the ref has to step in. The ref has to, that's on him. That's on him to keep defending. You know, waiting for me to burn my arms out isn't a viable defense. You know what I mean? So I ain't really even worried about it. You know, it really ain't no controversy to me. I'm already on to the next one. Like you said, I just need some sleep in me right now. Then when I wake up, I'm pretty sure I really feel a whole lot better about it.
So Kev, I watched the replay of the post fight. So you went straight in from moving on Chiesa. Now you focusing on them top 5 hunters. Talk about that Tony Ferguson does stuff.
Yeah, I mean the Tony thing. Again, I was just, you know me. I keep it real with you, you know. So I was just telling him his flaws as what he was doing. You know, right there, he was playing a reporter role. He was playing a journalist role. I saw that he had wrote up like a little piece for Fox Sports 1 right before, a little prediction piece. And, he was totally off on it. He was talking about, you know, I trained exclusively over at Mayweather Gym, and I'm, doing all this boxing training and all. You know, he ain't seen no videos of me training. And, you know, I guess I'm just trying to put myself in that situation. If they ask me to do that and be on that side of the fence and be that reporter role, I'm going to do my research. I won't speak on what I don't know. I've never shown Tony nothing but love and respect. And, you know, I really ain't really said nothing bad about the man, but, you know, I'm going to call him on the shit if he he's talking about he DDT'd me during the fight. I'm like, what is a DDT in the first place? And then 2, how you do it in the air? You know what I mean? Like, it don't make sense. I think the man is either stupid or, you know, he just don't watch fight. Or I honestly think that he might even got us mixed up. You know what I mean? He might have thought maybe I don't know. I really don't even know how to explain it. I don't know, man. You've been spending too much time in that SoCal. That California weed ain't nothing to pick with.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like, that moment after the fight itself was pretty special because that got people talking. Now you have a buzz about going back and forth with Tony Ferguson. Kind of got a next fight already lined up. If, you know, Khabib isn't ready, you know.
The UFC is smart. You know, that may be why they put him up there. You know what I mean? I think that was probably his first or second time only doing that. So they smart, you know. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. But, you know, I'm looking on the Khabib. I'm looking on the bigger and better. But if it's Tony, then so be it. You know, I think I don't know what they're gonna do with Tony. I thought they were gonna make the Tony and Barboza fight happen. That's kind of what, you know. I'm kind of going on the word. I'm trying to pick what's best for all parties here. So I was going with me and Khabib, but you beat me and Tony. I like that too.
Hey, Kev, for the record, I've been jamming that first day out, man. You got me crunk off that. That's my new little joint.
Yeah, T. Greasley actually gave me a shout out over it. You know, we like to hook up. You know, I remember last year when he came down to Vegas, he threw a little thing down at the club down here, and I went out and, you know, hung out with him a little bit. He cool dude too. So, you know, hey, once they go to Detroit, maybe I can have him walk me out. You know, you never know. I'm telling you, I got some big things planned for this. You know, once I headline this card in Detroit, it's going to be even bigger than this one.
Here's a two-part question. Is that confirmed that UFC is going to Detroit? And or do you think you need another fight? Say, for instance, Conor comes back and says, I'm going to fight one person left in 155, and he's going to pick the most marketable. So do you think you need to fight somebody like a Tony and Khabib and then call out Conor? Because we know you're not scared to call out anybody.
Sorry about that. I got an extra call. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, you're good.
We good? Okay. No, I mean, the Conor fight is intriguing, but I think that's something that needs to be built up to. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, we both losing out. Sorry, they keep calling. Well, I'm telling you. But that's something that can be built up to. You know what I mean? That's something that you let stew. That's the smart money. Like to let it stew, let it play, and then build up to that and make it an even bigger fight. That's what I was saying, even about the 165 division being open, going and chasing that title. And then then I meet Conor on down the line, you know what I mean? So, sorry, they keep calling. My bad.
It's all good.
It's like tossing off my concentration too. But anyway, we'll make the Conor fight happen eventually. It's going to happen. Like, it's inevitable that fight is going to happen. The man's only 28. Even once he fights this fight, I don't think he's gonna be done. He'll make some money, but that ain't type money that you're gonna live off of for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
You can't live on $100 million.
He'll come back, he'll fight, and we'll eventually end up fighting anyway.
Hey, that's not Dana you keep hanging up on, is it?
Nah. Look,
what happened? What's that? I'm not that lube.
No, the reason I asked is because we spoke to Mike right after the fight last night too. Like he came in and did a little scrum right after you. And he said he called Dana and was immediately, he said they had a little back and forth. Dana was talking about how pissed he was at Mario. And, I don't know if you saw Dana took to Instagram too. Have you spoke to Dana since?
This is the thing. Dana is smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Controversy gets people talking. So, Dana's going to play up to that controversy. Especially with Bellator coming off their big event over the week. The UFC had to, I think the UFC did the right thing, putting me and Mike putting the future on as the main event on Sunday, because this is what people are talking about on Monday morning. You know what I mean? People ain't talking about Chael and Vanderlei. Nobody give a damn about, these old I mean, that's the truth though. But the controversy makes it even more, you know what I mean? Because now people want to talk about the controversy. So that's the smart move for him. Dana, no, it ain't no controversy. I sat next to Sean Shelby on the plane, and I politic with him for 2.5 hours on the way.
Okay, so that's why you didn't go sleep on the plane.
Say what?
That's why you didn't go sleep on the plane. Then you try to get that next fight.
Yeah, nah. See, I just look. I'm already planning 2-3 steps ahead. So, But Dana knows. Dana's a smart man. He's a brilliant promoter for a reason, and that's part of the promotion. Because controversy, in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad, but 9 times out of 10, good press is good press,
Yeah. Have you spoken to Dana?
No, I ain't spoken to Dana yet, but like I said, I talked to Sean, I talked to Mick Maynard, I talked to a lot of the other higher ups in the execs, but not Dana yet.
What was some of the things that I
don't really have much back in, one-on-one, like direct contact with Dana, because we both kind of got like the same type of personality too. So honestly, I don't really feel like it would go that well 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean? Because I'm kind of aggressive, he kind of aggressive. Like that's why me and Joe never really got along, because Joe's got that same type of personality. So when it comes to speaking to Dana, I kind of leave it up to my manager. He a little more level-headed and a little more professional, you know what I mean? Like Dana gonna call me, if it really get down to the dirt nitty-gritty, Dana gonna call me some bitches and hoes, he gonna be some bitches and hoes, and then we all gonna be upset.
Exactly. Go ahead, what were you gonna say?
Kev, can you speak on for people like we know you. I've only known you a couple months. We've hit it off instantly. You and Matt go a little bit longer, but how people kind of just label because they see you at the press conference, like I can tell that you kind of want people to know that Kevin Lee is a good guy, a good brother, doing things on a big stage. Like I love the nickname Motown Phenom. They don't get that's not more than a nickname. That you're about that life, but you bring about something positive as well.
Yeah, I mean, people gon', you know what I mean? People gonna say what they gonna say, So I just kind of leave it up to them. I think if you really get to know me and, even talk to me for 15 minutes, you'll see this is the way I am all the time. I just give that to the people on camera even, you know what I mean? So I think some people, once they get behind the camera, like they kind of shy, they kind of play that politic role, and I just don't do that. I just kind of give you me how I am, like hanging out with my boys, and, you know. So I think that maybe, I don't know but people gonna think what they gonna think, and it really don't make me, you know, it really don't make me no difference. I really don't care. I'm like I said, I'm kind of anti-social anyway, so I don't really want people to like me, to be honest. Like those kind of, like, you know, that awkward situation where people are coming up and, you know, they act like they your friend and they barely even know you. You know what I mean? I don't even like that. So, you know, I don't really I don't stay up at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't lose sleep over it, man. Was that the first time Keith cornered you in a UFC fight?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was gonna give. Originally, the plan was to have Stitch Duran in my corner, you know, because I got the one extra corner man, just for the publicity, and, you know what I mean. It would have been another little storyline to the fight, but I gave it to my younger brother Keith because it was a great experience for him because he'll be at that level very soon. So the more experience that you have in the fight game, the even better. You know, not like now when he does those things, when he's backstage, when he's doing that walkout, it won't be so foreign. You know what I mean? He'll already kind of get the gist of it, and, you know, obviously he won't start at that big of a stage, but at least he'll have some idea of what he's looking for.
Kev, what you learned about being on that big stage last night, besides that you're ready for this, but even like little things like from your walkout to like the grease man couldn't get the grease on you because you were so crook. Is that just something you was in the moment?
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's just kind of how I am. You know, I was that in Ireland, I was that in Brazil, and I was that every time I fight in Vegas. I didn't treat it no different other than that we had 2 extra rounds to go. You know what I mean? So I treated the fight just as I would any other fight, even with all the extra. I think that's why the UFC kind of wanted to test me too, you know, before I headline another card, you know, see how I do with all this extra pressure, all the extra media. And I'll say, I handled it, you know, I thought I handled it pretty smooth. You know, it felt like just like any other fight to me. I don't, you know, and I got tunnel vision. When I'm in there, I got tunnel vision. I don't even see anything else. I'm just kind of in my zone, doing my thing. And, you know, that's when the NTP really shine. That's when I really kind of flip that switch and get going.
Yeah, so...
And that's why you see me kind of, you know, before, like, I used to get rowdy, you know, like the commissioners don't really like me because I just kind of don't do what they tell me to do. And, you know, I just kind of get in that mode where I'm just like, you know, moving and they you know, so I've actually calmed down a little bit.
Have you seen a lot of people, you know, before, like, I guess it started at the press conference, you know, because you came out there with, you know, with the outfit and you were, you know, being all confident on the mic like you usually are, right? And of course, you know, people started making those comparisons of you trying to be like Conor and whatnot. Have you seen any of that, you know, since the fight last night?
I mean, yeah, but people gonna do that. I don't even see where those comparisons are coming from, to be honest. I really don't. Like, you know, he wears a business suit and, you know, whatever, you know, them little, you know, he used to wear them cheap little $100 suits and stuff, you know, so I don't really see the comparison, to be honest. Like, I got a totally different style, totally different everything, you know, and even the way I talk is totally different. You know, he you know, I don't get it, but people are gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, they you know, everybody they just want to look for something, you know what I mean? And even then, people were saying that Conor was the next Chael, you know what I mean? And before Chael, he was the next, you know, Roddy Piper or whoever, you know, he was one of them dudes, like a WWE dude. So, I mean, of course you don't get, if you have 100 dudes, of course 1 or 2 are going to be, you know, a little more outspoken, a little more outrageous. That don't mean they acting like each other. That just mean they acting different than the rest of the 98 dudes in this division.
Right. And I think what it is, to be honest with you, is that there's so many fighters in the game right now that don't have that confidence, that don't talk like you do, that don't talk like Conor does, that won't get out there and call someone out. I don't know if you caught on to this or how much you watched the fight card last night. Out of all the fights, you were the only fighter to mention a name after they won last night. I
mean, to me, they all acting the same. You know what I mean? So you can say they all acting the same. They all act like, you know. You can say John Jones has been trying to pull off his best GSP impression for, you know, since his career started. So I mean, to me, that's you can say it goes both ways. You know, so I just try and be me. I just try and be who I am all the time and just, you know, let it fly. I mean, people saying, I'm wearing, different clothes and shit, but that's just because I can afford different clothes now, like them bucks are hard to come by, you know what I mean? Diamonds in your ears, they ain't cheap. So, you got to put in the hard work before you start to shine.
Absolutely.
So Kev, now that you're on this 5 fight win streak, and now you got a time to reflect, do you think in a weird way losing to Santos was a good thing? Of course, you don't want to get knocked out, but you think that's something that helps you get to this level on the cusp of being in that championship mix?
I said that a month after the fight. After a month, it kind of took me, I'll say maybe 2 months to get kind of over the fight. But honestly, it was the best thing that happened to me. It really kind of, I think that, like I said, experience is everything. So that experience just kind of really set me over the top and really made me more aware of the game, you know what I mean? And gave me more respect and made me see that you got to respect everybody at all times. I did have respect for Santos, but only on the ground, to be honest. I only have respect for his jiu-jitsu. And once we were on the ground, we grappled a little bit. I felt his strength. I just kind of was like, oh, yeah, no, it's going to be easy, you know what I mean? So I kind of let my guard down. And I know that now, even if Mike would have survived that first round, I would have came out, I would have still fought the exact same way in the second round. Keeping my distance, staying on my toes, picking them apart from distance, and taking the takedowns when they came. I would have fought them the same way. I wouldn't have changed up. Where maybe if that Santos thing didn't happen, then I would have got overconfident. Then he would have jumped on my back, and it would have been it would have been different. So. I've already been in those bad spots. I've already been in those bad situations. There's never been a fighter in combat sports history to go undefeated. You know what I mean? You need those defeats. You need those losses to kind of teach you those lessons. People say that about Floyd, but they don't realize, like, Floyd had 8 losses in his amateur career. It's those types of losses. In MMA, we don't even have an amateur system set up yet. So you kind of have to hop right into the pros and get that competition experience and get those losses out. Yeah, and sometimes it's on the big stage, and people hold that against you, but they don't understand that's just part of the game. So there's never been a fighter to ever go undefeated, and there never will be, to be honest.
Do you think Chiesa kind of did the same thing to you? Like, he didn't think your ground game was going to be as tight until he got embarrassed and went limp?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he was even in denial for a little bit, I don't think that he went – I don't think that he knew that he went out. You know what I mean? It was a blood choke. You can't tough out a blood choke. People are comparing it to the Justine Kish choke, how she was able to tough it out, but they don't realize she had the choke against her, the front part of her throat, Mm-hmm. She was choking with the forearm. If you look, my elbow, and you can tell by where our elbow placement is. I mean, I'm giving a jiu-jitsu lesson here, but, I got to because people don't understand the subtleties of the game and how that can make such a huge difference, My elbow is right in the middle of his chest, which means that my bicep and the meaty part of my forearm are the ones that are squeezing on his neck. There's no squeeze there. My arm doesn't squeeze to give out, It's just cutting off the arteries, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a slow choke. It's not a grit, When you see a guy gritting, that means it's a pain choke. It's a slow choke. It's here, and before you know it, he's out. It was the exact same choke I hit my Mustafayev with, and he went out unconscious. And he went out before even knowing it. And it was the exact same choke that I hit Francisco Trinaldo with. He just was a little more vet of the game, but you saw how quick the tap was, even with Francisco. As soon as the choke on, that window was closing. So I think that window was closing for Mike, and he didn't realize the door shut. I seen him after the fight, and I seen him and he was a little, depressed. He was down because I think he either saw the footage or he finally came to terms with it that, hey, that's poor defense. I was on his back for 2 minutes. I'm honestly kind of shocked by how bad his defense was there. Or, I'm great on the back. I have great offense, but, I was expecting a little more.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how short that window is. Like you were saying, like when that window starts to close, like it comes quick. And then also at the same time, as soon as you release that pressure, the window opens back up really quickly. Like I've been in that position too. Like I train, I know how it is to be choked out. So I've been there. But I think that was part of the problem was like he didn't realize it was just that window. Like right when the window shut, you let go because Mario Yamasaki comes in, and then he's like, "Oh man, what just happened? Like why do you stop?"
And again, Mario's a black belt. You know what I mean? So Mario's been choked out. That when when you know jiu-jitsu and you see it up close, you can see it. The second that his hands stop fighting, Mario stops it. Mario's smart. But the second that I let go, those bloodways open back up. You know what I mean? And the blood rushes right back to the brain, and it's very, very quick. It shuts off very quick and it opens up very quick. It only takes 1-2 seconds. People don't understand that. So, and of course, Mike's got a strong mindset. I said that before the fight. I said I was going to have to break him physically before I did mentally. So even after I broke him physically, he still was mentally. He was still, mentally he was still ready to fight. I think even if it was like when you knock the guy out and he's like, grappling with the ref and whatnot because he's still ready to fight because he's mentally strong. But you can't deny the physical. You know what I mean? There's nothing. There was really nothing that he can do. I got my arms wrapped around your throat. What are you gonna do? Sit there and wait and hope that I let go? It wasn't gonna happen because I still got 45 seconds. I was gonna, you gonna go brain dead before that happened.
Yeah, he said he's gonna file a protest, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they ain't gonna give him nothing. It's ridiculous. So he can waste his time if he wants to, but that's on him. I guess if you want to spend that little money that he got and spend them on the lawyers, then go ahead, brother. hey, far fetched for me to tell a man what to do with his money.
That's what we like on Sympathetic Podcast. We want to see the real Motown phenom.
yeah. Nah.
Kevin, did y'all kind of bury the hatchet on like a competition level? Like y'all get respect? And how long you gonna be out the gym? Cause I know you got banged up a little bit. You gonna take off time?
My knee is a little banged up. I go see the doctor in the morning, so I'll be able to tell. I need some sleep right now, but I don't know. I thought we did, but apparently we don't. So I don't know. If you want to get it in, we can. But it's gonna be like I said on the Fox Sports broadcast. I'll take the fight just because I think it's easy money. Like honestly, I thought I gave him a little too much credit. So if he want to do it again, if you want to run it back, I walked over, I tried to shake his hand, and he didn't want to shake my hand. But whatever. I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it. I will. Look,
on your career trajectory, are you where you want to be at? Because I've heard your name because we know each other on a personal level now. But it's kind of crazy how you my mom's like, did that black guy win last night? Because she didn't know. She knew I was going to the fight. She didn't even know none of the scene. Didn't even know y'all name. But you got people that don't even watch the sport. It's like remember that press conference. And want to know, so what is your plan? Of course, you want to be a champion, but is things going now from in and out the cage, off that press conference, and getting this big win, like where you want to be at, or you still look like you got some time to go since you're a young man in this game?
Of course, I still got some time to go. You know what I mean? Like I'm young, I still got a long time left. But like I said, I sat next to Sean Shelby. We politicked the whole way. I kind of laid the groundwork. I think they see a lot of value in it. Especially with Mayweather fighting McGregor, McGregor's going to bring over a huge influx of those fans, and they need something to attach to, because he ain't going to come back right away. So, hey, I'll let your boy.
So, Ken, I got to follow up on this question, man. This response you gave my boy Kendrick here last night at the during a little post-fight scrum. He mentioned, about like who would be next for you, and you said something that kind of struck me. You said you could go through all the names at the top of the division right now and say how you would beat each one of them. Can we do that real quick? Can we run through each name?
Give us a breakdown.
Give us a breakdown.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go through it. So this is the rankings right now. These haven't been updated since your win, okay? So gotcha. First one above you right now is someone you got history with, Ali Aquinta.
Al's easy. You stick and move on Al, Al's going to sit in the pocket, look to throw that big right hand. It's a loopy right hand. You throw straight shots down the middle, and then take him down. And, his submission defense is really weak. So, you take him down, you beat him up. But Al, you get fired up, and he's just going to come out with all you got to do is avoid the big right hand. It's like fighting, it's like fighting one of these old school 2005 characters. So, Al's an easy one. Al's not even one that I'm really looking forward to. He's got to bump his way up.
Beneil Dariush.
Beneil, you got to drag into deep water. Beneil's a great athlete, but I don't know, just something about it. It's like his body type. He's got that kind of slow burn body, or I don't know. The man's just out of shape. You know what I mean? So what else can I say? Like You just got to drag him into the deep water. You know, I definitely take that one on a 5-rounder, and I don't think he would stand a chance at winning the decision.
Dustin Poirier.
Ooh, Dustin's a good one. Dustin's a good fighter. I mean, I will get that to him, and I've always said that from the beginning. I wanted to fight Dustin years ago, and I still want to fight Dustin. You know, we can still get it in. So, Dustin, you just put pressure on Dustin. You know, I think the kicks, the range. You know, once you set that range with the kicks, then he'll start stepping in, and you start touching that chin because he does show that he can get hit on that chin pretty solid up the middle. So I think you keep the range. You know what I mean, with the kicks, and then come up the middle with the shot.
Nate Diaz.
Oh, Nate's easy. Nate's easy money. Come on, the blueprint's out. Nate's got 15 losses. The blueprint is already out there for Nate. I don't even think I need to state the obvious. So only thing you can't do is go out there and try to be a dummy and throw left uppercuts against a man who's a tall, rangy southpaw boxer. You know what I mean? You can't fool the Conor McGregor. Only thing you can't do is be stupid. Like, that's it. Otherwise, it's an easy fight.
Michael Johnson.
All by the same method.
Mr. Michael Johnson.
Mike, you hit hard. Mike too little. Mike too little. Mike gonna get taken down. Mike gonna get beat up. You just hit Mike hard. I think you just walk through Mike's shots. He's too little. He got that speed. You know what I mean? But once you grab a hold of him, you slow him down, you wear him out. Then the size gonna come into factor. I don't think he even realizes.
Edson Barboza.
Edson's a tough one. I mean, again, you push him. I think you push the pace, push him into the later rounds. And then you keep it a gritty. You got to make it nasty against Edson. You can't let him go out there and show off on you. So you make it. I think Beneil Dariush fought a perfect fight against him. I would stick to that same game. I think Beneil did it perfect, except Beneil got tired. And Beneil gets tired in damn near every fight. So, you got to do that and not get tired. So it's pretty simple.
Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie's easy. Eddie's easy. Come on, Eddie. Eddie's washed up now. I don't know. Eddie ain't won a fight convincingly since he beat Michael Chandler, I think. So I mean, Eddie, you just beat from bell to whistle. He on the downslide. You know what I mean? So Eddie gonna try and hold on to you. Eddie gonna try and outcraft you, but you just beat Eddie off of athleticism.
Now we're getting into the hot topics. Tony Ferguson.
Tony, you hit Tony a lot. Tony gets hit a lot. The defense is terrible. He's got that real awkward, switching stances a lot. You hit him in between those stance switches. Real flat-footed, real crazy on the ground. You settle position on the ground just like Danny Castillo or like a lot of these guys once he gets on the ground. You settle position, you hit him a lot. So, you just got to keep hitting him. I think you just can't get – he's kind of got that Homer Simpson defense, where he's like, okay, you can hit me, but eventually you're going to get tired of hitting me. So you just got to make sure you don't get, you just keep hitting him.
And Habib, and on a personal note, why do you want Habib so bad? Because that's a name, because like Tony Ferguson is like, hey, you wait your turn in line. I want Habib. Why do you want Habib so bad?
Because everybody thinks Habib is such a monster, you know what I mean? And they got such a clout against him, and this guy has been the uncrowned champion and all that, so I just, just because of the aura surrounding him, Tony don't got that same aura, Tony don't got that same, when you ask somebody about Tony, they're like, oh, he's tough, you know what I mean? Like, and whenever you say a fighter is tough, then that means they just, they ain't really got no, you know what I mean? I want something to get me up out the bed, you know what I mean? I want something more than just tough, so, I want a real challenge, and I think Khabib really kind of presents that challenge, but Khabib's ground skill, Khabib's got some of the best ground and pound in MMA, hands down. Like, I'll give it to him, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of challenge that I want, not just somebody that's tough, you know what I mean? So, but with Khabib, he's slow, I ain't gonna give it all away, but yeah.
Would you say so? Basically, you're saying like people look at Khabib like he's the boogeyman of the division.
Exactly, and that's what he's been doing, and I'm here to show. And I'm shining that flashlight on the boy.
Of course, the last one is left.
You see, I went out with T. Grizzly. He got the grizzly bear, the $100,000 grizzly bear diamond out. So I might borrow that bad boy.
There you go. He said he wrestles bears, man. You got to get in there with one, huh?
That's what he said. That's what they say.
Last one, obviously, the man with the belt, Conor McGregor, who knows when we'll see an octagon again. So
yeah, I think honestly he'll be on the decline when he comes back. You know, I think he's been on the decline for a minute. I think he will be on the decline even more when he comes back. You know, his skill set is starting to stagnate. You know, so you know, you just put the pressure on him. Keep the pressure on him. He's too small. He's too small to hang with us 55ers. You know, you see guys like me and Chiesa. You know, like a lot of these guys that I fought. You know, like Francisco Trinaldo's bigger than me. You know what I mean? And right now I'm sitting here. I'm 185, 189 pounds. You know, so you know, I think you put the pressure on him and you take him down, and he's out of this world. Hey, he's gonna sit there. He's gonna sit there and close guard. Come on, man.
You just threw out your way, Kev. Like I know it's your livelihood, but what the hell y'all be doing cutting 25 pounds in 4 days? That just sounds like insane. I know that's your profession, that's your job, but like if somebody just told you they did that and you went in the fight game, you probably think they stupid, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is stupid. It is. I mean, it's incredibly stupid. I'll say it's stupid again. Yeah, no, it's some of the dumbest things that I do. And I do it like 4 times a year. Yeah, no, I'm sick of doing it. So, yeah, no, it's incredibly stupid. It's taking years off my life. I know that. No, it ain't hard.
Was there something different with this cut? Because at least as far as I know, I don't recall you having, you know, coming into like this heavy before. Or is that just something that's been...
For the most part, I do about 20, 22 pounds of water, you know. And that's how it's been from the last maybe... Since I fought James Mutasari, I think was the first weight cut that was that heavy. Okay. Before it was only like 17, 18. But you know, again, I'm getting big. You know, I'm just growing as a. You know, I'm 24 now. You know what I mean? So I'm getting a little bit bigger. That was when I was like 21, 22. You know what I mean? So you know, it just comes naturally. You know, like the more I train, the bigger I get, the more muscle I put on. You know, and it's getting harder and harder to cut back on that muscle. So eventually, I'll have to go up to 65.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Listen, Kev, I mean, I appreciate the time. Obviously,
definitely, man. Thank you for take care of us, man. Will you be at UFC Fight Week?
Yeah, I'll be here. for sure.
Okay. Hey, I'm sending out a personal request. Can we link up? I'll be out there. Man, I'm gonna be here in Dallas, but I'm gonna be out there, and I definitely want to go to Mayweather Boxing Club and see you spar.
My dude. Yeah. They get me out there for sure. I got you. Hit me up.
For sure. Appreciate it, man. First ever, hey, man, we your first ever guest on the Slip and Dip podcast, man.
Oh, well, my man.
Hey, can you show us some love on social media, brother?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out on anything.
Appreciate it,
man. Kev, man, get some rest. Man, let that knee heal up, man.
Look, I'm in there right now.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the time, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, brother.
Have a good one.
That is it. First guest on the Slip and Dip podcast, man. If it was on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 14.
Hey, he gave us some heat right there. He gave us some real heat. He went off, told us how he's going to break down and beat the entire lightweight division.
You can tell he's really been like studying these dudes. He ain't just saying it like out of arrogance. It's like this man is about the main thing I respect Kev is that he's about that life, but he knows when to shut it on and off, and he ain't just shooting from the hip. This man is on his game. He eats, sleeps, and breathes MMA, and that's what you need to be good. You don't just show up on fight night, and get crunk and all that, and do the roar, but you don't do nothing. He gets crunk, and he about that life, and he getting people out of there.
Yeah, he really does, man. He really does, and that's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that the man is really smart. Like he said that last night. You know, he's very aware of what's happening in the cage. He comes in prepared. You know, he talks a lot, but he kind of uses that as a guise to make people think he's not really on top of as much as he really is. Like the dude, he's smart, he's sharp, he trains the right way. Obviously, he just mentioned the weight cut, so maybe we talk about the nutrition thing, so he's not cutting 20 pounds. I still get that. I've been covering UFC, and the crazy thing that trips me out is in boxing, it's not an issue. Like Floyd Mayweather hasn't fought in 2 years. I guarantee you, for like him and McGregor are fighting at 154. I guarantee you, he doesn't have to cut weight. Yeah, guarantee you. Yeah. McGregor, yeah. But Floyd, no. It's MMA, man. MMA's got that weird thing going on, man. It started forever ago, and now guys are like, get down as small as possible, you know. But hey, if you're doing it, make sure you're doing it and being successful while you're doing it. You know, guys like, I mean, while we're on the subject of weight cutting, Johny Hendricks, man, how the mighty have fallen and how the mighty have fattened at the same time.
Hey, his own personal coach can be, I guess, Steve Wright. We trying to line him up for y'all to try to get some behind the scenes on. I hate to see this fall, but it's like ever since I actually thought he won Robbie Lawler 2 and lost Robbie Lawler 1. But ever since that fight, he's not been the same guy. And just like now, it's like he's too small for 185 and too big for 170. So it's like he's in no man's land. It's like his better days are behind him.
It's 100% discipline is what it is, man. It's not that he can't make the weight. It's just he's not disciplined. And I've heard stories.
You think? I'm going to cut you off. He's been doing this for a long time. Like, the first time I saw him up close was getting ready for the Lawler 1 fight right after the GSP. And he had just started his training camp. He was 210. And he cut down to 170. I think it's just one of those things. He don't realize you can't do that shit at 33 that you were doing at 27.
It's discipline, bro. It's discipline. I know stories behind the scenes. People that have told me personal things talking about how he does stuff that he's not supposed to do, especially in preparation for a fight. Now, you can also take stuff on the record that he said, even leading up to fight week. He was on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, and he said something, I forget the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, I was going to start cutting weight today, but I decided against it." And this was like on Tuesday. So like things like that, you know, when he says it, like he's not trying to hide it per se. He knows it's a discipline issue. He knows he can make the weight. It's just being motivated to do it. The man was a champion. The man's lost a few fights, changing weight classes, possibly on his way out. You know, it's kind of a tough thing, man. I really don't think his heart's in fighting anymore. I don't think he really has that desire to become a champion again, which is fine. I mean, you reached the top of the mountain. You were there. You held that strap. You know what it's all about. You know, if it's done, it's done for him, you know, and that's it's kind of sad to see him go out by being unprofessional.
my man, that retired people.
I'm just saying, like, if he's not done, like, I mean, let's be real.
What's he fighting for?
Yeah, like, if you're gonna show up, disrespect your opponents by not making weight, things like that. Like, after jumping up a 15-pound weight class, and like as soon as he came around that corner at weigh-ins, I was like, oh, Johnny's about to get on the scale. He's at middleweight now. He'll be all right. And then you see that look on his face. I'm like, no.
What's the look, bro?
No. He gets on the scale and he does the whole... I was like, this dude, he really is about to miss weight at 185. Are you serious?
I challenge you. Are you going to ask Steve Wright if we get him on here next week? Why does he do that?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I've talked with, he was working with Lou Giordano, his nutritionist, who got him ready for, a couple other fights before that, the Stephen Wonderboy fight, and got him there. But it's just, even Lou, when I talked to Lou, man, Lou said Johnny's tough. He's tough. Like, you got to stay on him. It's just discipline. The dude likes food. Food's delicious. I don't blame him. But at the same time, your job is to cut weight and make this weight you signed a contract for. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Speaking of retirements, I hate to see it. It's just, I've seen it way too many times. BJ, please, yes. Man. I was there with the Frankie Edgar night when the real retirement happened, and that was hard for me because before I even started watching UFC, I didn't know nothing. I'm like, man, he has a cool nickname. I'm gonna watch this little dude. Oh, he can fight. That's my guy. BJ Penn and Rampage were my two first guys that I was like, oh, I gotta watch these guys fight. So to see him going from dropping Matt Hughes and running out the cage to that Dennis Seaver literally kicked the shit out of him, and I'll say it again, literally kicked the shit out of him. And like, if they fought like 5 years ago, Dennis Seaver would have got knocked the fuck out, don't you think? Seriously, it was just like very like I felt every kick, and that dude was snapping those kicks too. And I was like, man, BJ, please hang it up. I as a fan and somebody that just appreciate the sport and appreciate what he's done for the sport, it was hard for me to watch. Just imagine his family and stuff and people that know him, business associates.
Man, I don't know if I would be that confident in it because Dennis Seaver's not a pushover, man. He's like in this class right now.
Like second round, man, he gets him out of there. If he did what he did in the second round, he gets him out of there.
I agree. But a lot of people, man, they don't give Dennis Seaver respect.
What's he done?
He's a tough dude, man. He's got the best spinning back kick in the whole game.
True.
Can't deny.
But what did Kev to say about tough people?
Hey, some people get beat. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I get it for sure. But at the same time, it's like, I agree with you 100%, man. To see BJ get worked like that was my first time witnessing a BJ Penn fight in person.
That's my second, and they both were in that. The Frankie Edgar one was worse.
Dang, yeah, well,
he got stopped.
That one wasn't even a contest.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw him too. So I'm like, yeah, I get to see the man, the prodigy. Which in his prime, I tell people that.
Yeah,
that was no BS nickname, the prodigy.
Yeah, like as we see right now on the stream here, that was that clip where he dropped Dennis right there. And I was like,
he gets him out of there. 5 years ago, he gets him out of there.
He gets him out of there, for sure. But he just came out so flat in that third round, man. And it sucks.
Oh, his gas tank was on So-E.
So-E. Like, it was... I can't recall the last time I saw somebody come out that flat after having success in the first round, after dropping somebody. Coming out in the third round, it was just like, man, you could probably go back and watch that replay. I'm pretty sure the last 2 minutes, he maybe threw 2 punches.
He was retreating his ass off. That's all I saw.
And getting blasted the whole time. Seaver was hitting him with every type of kick in the book. Just clapping him with those leg kicks, like ringing out through the whole arena. It was, man, I don't know. It was kind of tough to watch because, I'm sitting there. Obviously, we were sitting there cage side watching it. And I look around and everybody had this look on their face like,
oh, did you see my look? Yeah, I was
everybody like, really, man, come on, BJ. Like, man, we don't want to see this. Everybody had that look like, all right, it's time to hang him up, man. Like, it's not a good look.
Last night, what you think? Great. For those of you me and Matt were live case side. If you see the brother with the hat in front row, that's me. Navi, it's part of the outfit. Sorry, man. We're trying to break the rules. Shout out to USC PRT for taking care of us. But it was weird because it wasn't like a main event. Like, it wasn't like the Vegas feel. But it was like undercover delivered. Like, if I was paying money, I would have paid for that over that Bellator craziness on Saturday. That tomfoolery.
Well, yeah, I agree with you just because I would rather see guys like, okay, listen, I understand Bellator's card. It's a different animal altogether, though. Like, I'm kind of bouncing around on thoughts as I'm trying to get all this out. Like, Bellator is a different animal altogether. Like, when you're watching a Bellator card, you're watching more of a spectacle. You're watching more of a show.
Senior citizens?
Yeah, like when you're watching UFC, you're watching more of a sport. You're watching guys that are up and coming, that are trying to become champions, top of the game. Bellator, you're getting guys that have been knocked out of the UFC. You're watching guys that built their name in the UFC for the most part. Taking it back to Bellator, having some more fun fights. Yeah, you're not going to get all the fame and notoriety of being a champion there that you will in UFC. And you can have fun fights there. You can have a lot of stuff make sense for you. But it's just two different products altogether. I love Bellator's presentation. Like, that's my favorite part about it. Like, they get the stage, they get the damn near pro wrestling entrances for the guys. They have fun with it. But at the end of the day, like, what does Chael Sonnen winning mean in Bellator? Doesn't mean anything. I kind of wanted to keep Kevin on to talk about this, but he was tired, so we let him go. But, he's real critical. Like, I don't know if he watched the card or not. The bout order of that card made 0 sense.
Oh, zero. No, I was thinking, here's the thing. As you know, I don't got time to waste my Saturdays on some nonsense. So what was... Okay, I get the Phil Davis one. You want people to watch, so you put on the prelims. I'm kind of disappointed because that's the only fight I really want to watch. And I go watch the damn main event card. I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right, I was already disappointed with that. Well, how you going to have Chael and them fight as the main event, but then you have them after you had who's the 40-year-old versus the youngster? After you have Fedor and them. How Fedor, I know Fedor and them didn't have a belt on the line, but you hyped them up. Like, I don't watch Bellator. I didn't even know about the guy the guy that broke his ankle.
Oh, Michael Chandler?
Yeah, I heard his name, but it's the first time I seen him fight. So I know that's a Chael. How they didn't get no promotion? That's why I barely knew he was on the card. There was no promotion. The promotion was based around Chael and Vanderlei, these senior citizens, and Fedor and Matt Mitrione. But they're not in the final two. It didn't make any sense.
No, yeah.
It's like, it's hokey pokey, Scott Coker. Hokey pokey.
Listen, here's the problem I have is that you have 3 title fights on the card, and you put a debut fighter after some of those title fights. Like, And then that debut fighter got wrecked in 30 seconds. Like, that's why you don't put debut fighters in that kind of spot. Like, I wouldn't even put a Brock Lesnar when he first came over, like, in that spot.
This is Dominic Reyes.
Like, well, I mean, hey, he had an awesome, laser of a left hand. But I'm just saying, like, that kind of, it didn't make sense, man. And the funny part, not for Aaron Pico, obviously. Like, you want to go out there, you want to win your debut, you want to have a good performance. But talking with the guys on the MMA latest editor chat, you know, I said, Pico's about to get wrecked in 30 seconds here just to complete all the madness that's happened so far tonight. Goes out there, gets wrecked in, what was it, 26 seconds? I was like, man, I just predicted that.
Who told you that Fedor was going to go to sleep?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I told you.
Listen.
Another one to the sparkling record. We make it 6 in a row. 6.5 if you want to throw in Fedor. Fedor was a bonus. That was between me and Matt, but Kevin Lee, another check for the good God, 6 in a row.
Right. Yeah, man. Chandler getting the seat pulled out from him also got that fight stopped. You saw that clip, right?
Yeah. I saw that because was he hurt or
he was hurt? Like his ankle was completely jacked up.
Yeah, I can't put no pressure on it.
But he looked like he got up and fell down like a the first watch.
Yeah.
But then they watched it back. No, they pulled the seat out from under him, and then that's when the doctor was like, "All right, you can't even stand up." Like that's not what just happened. He got the seat pulled out from under him. But listen, I mean, I hate seeing guys like we've seen Jamie Varner. I don't know if you remember that or not. Jamie Varner had that happen to him in a fight where he rolled his ankle severely and kept fighting. And his ankle was gone, and he still kept fighting. And there was like multiple times from throughout that moment, like where he's trying to fight, kept trying to plant, and his ankle would just be gone, and he'd fall over on it, and he'd get back up, keep trying to fight, plant again, fall on it. It was just so nasty to watch.
What do you think the doctors be saying? I was like we see something like that. It's like, why was there even a discussion, bro? You fell 3 times without any non-contact. Yeah. Injury. You fell 3 times. No, it's like, so why you don't even like you conversate? Are you okay, man? Like you don't say no, I'm not. I mean, yes, I need to stop it. You know, like I don't get what the doctors be doing.
Every fighter's gonna be like, you better not stop.
Exactly.
The fight. Unless if I'm like,
is the belt on the line too? Yeah, he definitely didn't want to stop.
Of course not. But Chandler, he'll heal up. He'll get right back in there. That dude, he's one of the best that does it in lightweight. You know, he's one of those guys I wish would ever go over to the UFC. But obviously he's got a good thing in Bellator, so there's no reason for him to do it. Phil Davis, Ryan Bader, that was the most boring fight of the night, I think.
So I missed nothing?
You didn't miss anything there. James Gallagher, man, that dude he's the real deal. He beat Shinzo Machida. That was a good fight. That dude's something special. Conor McGregor's buddy, training partner for forever over there in Ireland. Dude, he's very Conor-ish in a lot of things that he does, but he's starting to develop his own little style out of it, so... Big things for him coming up.
You are watching way more than me. I was interested to see how the Silva guy. What do you think about him pulling the Cormier games at the New York State Athletic Commission? Like, nah, bro, we didn't see that trick before.
No, he got tapped.
That was funny though.
Yeah, he got tapped out, so it wasn't really a good thing for him at all. But yeah, I mean, overall, if you're gonna ask me, like that Bellator card, like nothing is gonna last in my memory. Is like, man, you remember that night? Well, I guess the only thing
I give it a D minus.
I'd give it a B minus because I give it the presentation. What? I like the presentation a lot because
it's NYC.
Vastly different.
Well, you didn't go to 205, right?
No.
Okay, that's the standard. Like that's the best non Mayweather Pacquiao goes without saying. That's the biggest combat sports. I was there, but 205 was the best UFC event I've been to, and it wasn't even in Vegas. You compare it to that thing is like child's play. They like amateurs compared to 205. 205 for everything. From Madonna to Charlize Theron in the crowd to Conor throwing chairs on Wednesday and busting ass on Saturday. You can't top that in the Garden. You can't tell that fight was in Madison Square Garden, so you get a D in my book. This is in the Garden. You can't even tell that you were in the Garden, the Mecca, as they keep calling it.
I mean,
I give last night B plus. In Oklahoma, I tell B minus. Oklahoma City gets a B though. It was undercover, but we saw some stuff memorable. We saw Heavy Johnny get knocked out, as you said. Of course, Kevin Lee. I think we're gonna be looking back at this fight. Kevin Lee is when he became a star to all y'all.
Yeah,
we were the man that knew the plan. We knew about this. Actually, Matt knew it before me. I get Matt's pops. Matt turned me on to him before. He said, "Man, not only is he cool, man, he can fight." And I said, "I gotta see him fight." And then and he's a great guy on top of that. And then nobody's gonna forget the Felice and Justine Kish fight. I ain't never seen nobody have that and out, and they still didn't tap out. That's very impressive. Did you see that live? I was around the cage and I didn't see that.
No, I was in the back doing post-fight interviews, and I'm glad I didn't see it because that was disgusting. But yeah, with Felice, man, I guess kind of the bad thing. I guess I had my first moment.
Matt turned into that reporter that makes people cry like they do on Dateline.
Yeah,
NBC.
man. I made my first fighter cry in a post-fight interview. I asked Felice why she didn't get why she felt she wasn't getting the respect she deserved, and she said, "I don't think I'm young and beautiful enough," and which I can kind of see where she's coming from in a way, but I don't agree with her at all, because if you like scroll through her Instagram, you scroll through all the people that follow her, like they're on, like they like Felice because of her looks, like, and how she carries herself. You know what I mean? But I think more so for Felice is that she doesn't really make it seem like she's all the way in with fighting. You know, there's some times where she gets on the mic and she's like, you know what, I'm feeling really good, ready to get back in there. And other times she's just like, whatever's next. You know, whatever. Like, until you start getting on the mic and start demanding stuff, you know, like, you know, she said she wasn't going to call anybody out, but, you know, it's one of those things, man. You got to make people believe that.
Yeah, it's crazy that she's that good and she's like lacking confidence. It's like she's, in my opinion, world class.
No, I agree. Like me and John Morgan, you know, we were backstage all night last night, and as soon as before that bout started, we were like, Felice is about to make this really, really ugly. She's about to get in Justine Kish's stuff and just ragdoll her, and that's exactly what she did. You know, she's really, really good. She's selling herself short in a lot of ways. I think she just, you know, I think maybe that loss to Paige kind of hurt her confidence a lot.
But she's won since then, though.
Oh, yeah, she's won, obviously, yeah. But I don't know. I think that may be sticking with her in the back of her mind, kind of, because Paige got that opportunity maybe when she didn't necessarily deserve it. I don't know. That's a whole other bag of worms, but...
Yeah, I stayed at the political side on that one, but her friend and training partner Carla Esparza looked good. My only thing about Carla, I like watching the fight. She goes at it, and she's kind of got that Latina, like never say never, but that grit and grind is not going to work. I don't think she's got enough skills to stay with the lead. Of course, we saw what happened with JJ. That's when I became a JJ fan that night.
Oh,
and then I was there live. That's the most brutal whooping I've seen on a chick in person. And then I don't think she could compete with Cordelia because her hands are not good enough. So it's like, as good as her wrestling is, I don't think she can beat Carolina. It's like the people she's going to have to beat to be on that level, it's like her tools are not good enough. I know she's trying to work on them. Like, she had a nice little jab, and she was keeping off of her. But those type of fighters, that's not going to work. You don't have to need more. Like, she had 2 tools. They got 4 tools.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the striking game has to evolve, like, drastically. And, you know, it's kind of like that thing with Ronda that we saw. Like, Ronda never improved her striking. No. Like, Carla's getting better. She's getting better in the striking department, but you still have to make a gigantic leap while not falling in love with your hands like Ronda did. Like, Ronda thought she was a boxer all of a sudden.
Edmonds, you ruined that girl.
Yeah, like...
Now you got her doing TV shows and movies.
No, as long as Carla keeps improving, showing the little advances in her game that she does, but keeps at the forefront her game is wrestling, she'll be all right. She'll be all right. I don't know if she'll ever beat someone like Joanna, but she'll get up there. She'll earn another shot as long as she keeps progressing.
When you think about was like Kev kind of doing it, also we have a lot of nuggets from our boy Kev about opening up the weight classes. Like it's approved in California, like the 165s and the 175s and stuff like that. What do you think about that? So having people damn near kill themselves to fight, which is crazy. Like both those guys are at 180 and they had to cut to 155. Why can't they just fight at 180?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
As long as you're the same size, to me, it shouldn't matter. Now, if you got one dude's 195, one dude's 180, then that's a big difference. But both dudes within 5 pounds on fight night, it really shouldn't matter.
Yeah, and that's, you know, again, like, I've said it so many times, man. There's no reason for guys to cut down to 155 just to step on a scale to say, hey, I'm 155 right now, and tomorrow you'll both be 180. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I like one championship for bumping everybody up a weight class and monitoring their weight more often. Like, a weight class is supposed to be there to say, you guys are 170 pounders, so you should fight each other. You guys are not 200 pounders cutting down to 170 for a 10-minute window and then getting right back up to 200. Like that's just not how it's supposed to work.
No,
it's
just
not healthy.
It just don't make any common sense. Like, the funny thing, Kevin even admitted is like basically like my livelihood didn't depend on this. I know I'm stupid. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
though.
like that's the crazy part, right? The guys know that there's health risks there, and as if the fighting itself wasn't dangerous enough, you're gonna put your body through that and then get in there. And I get it. It's kind of like a rite of passage. It's kind of like a routine. Like, you gotta put yourself through the fire of cutting weight to earn the reward of stepping in the octagon. Like, there's that mentality going on that I've heard from other fighters talk about before. And it's just a little off base, man. They have to get out of that mentality.
It's like so old school.
Yeah, it's very old school. Very, very old school. And it's just unnecessary. It's kind of like the old school method of training where guys would just, like the shoot box guys that would just get in there and just bang it out and like have like legit fights day in and day out. Like, that's not smart training. And, you know, we've seen guys go away from that now. But it's just a lot of things like that, man. As the sport evolves, man, things like that will get better. Things will change. Weight cutting, I hope will get figured out. But it's just not there yet. Just not there yet. What else from the event? I mean, you know, me and you, we both hopped on the road, hit that little 2.5, 3 hour road trip. What else you take away from OKC?
Fans. I get very disappointed when fans start doing the nonsense. Did you catch the boos? On the what time what fight it was? It was the Tim Means fight. Tim Means came in, did what he had to do, did a lot of body work, which is why his opponent, Mr. Alex Garcia, couldn't do nothing in the third round. Didn't look like he was doing nothing in the first round. You get hit in the belly 15 times and go try to fight somebody and see what happens. And people are booing because he was constantly landing and playing it safe at the same time. It's like, why don't people get the sport in both? People do the same thing in boxing. I keep telling them, I'll keep saying it's on purple in my black ass face. There's nothing cool about getting hit. Ask the fighters. They don't think it's cool. So why are you booing this person because he's winning the fight and, he's not getting hit? Like, I'll tell you now, if you're that fan that, their job is to entertain and don't spend no money on Mayweather McGregor because Floyd's not getting hit. So don't spend your money. You don't really be mad.
And again, like I said last episode, you can go back and listen. I said this. If you're booing, you're telling me you can do better. So get in there and do better if you're going to sitting out there and boo somebody who's literally in there fighting right now. Like, it's just so disrespectful to me. And I heard it, man. Like, I wasn't cage side for it.
I was.
I know you were. Like, the only fight I was actually cage side for was the BJ Penn one. They just had people coming in and out so quick. Like, I couldn't step away. And I missed Clay Guida.
Clay Guida, man, he had a great performance. It was good to see him get back in the win column after a 2-year hiatus. And the man, I like the fact that, he admit too. Like, one thing that Kev didn't want to come and tip his card is Combat Sports. My other favorite saying, what kind of game is it? It's a young man's game. Yeah. Prime example, Clay Guida knows he's at the end. He's like our age, in mid-30s, that he's closer to the end than he is at the beginning, but he's worked hard enough and went to Alpha Male and evolved enough with the game that he can still put on a good show, and he can do nothing but respect a person like that. He's not like, well, I fought 40 fights before, I know what I'm doing. Like, no, if you're going to win and keep up with these youngsters, you better do what these youngsters are doing, or the game will pass you by. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he looks solid, man. He looks solid. And he's a guy, his style is never easy for anybody. So
that pressure.
Yeah. That's that annoying style that nobody wants to fight.
No, but the thing is, though, you have to deal with it. And the guy last night, Mr. Koch, couldn't deal with it. He thought he could, and in that second round, he didn't want none.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Khabib thing, man. Khabib does the same thing. He just gets in your face, like he's going to wrestle the you-know-what out of you until you break. Like, that's what he does, right? That's kind of what Clay tries to do. But, yeah, I agree with that, man. other than that, I thought it was pretty good atmosphere, pretty good environment out there in the arena. Obviously, it wasn't like the biggest show on the planet. We can tell that obviously by the media turnout. Media had to choose between Bellator's biggest pay-per-view ever, which is their second one ever. So kind of.
Bellator gets nothing. For now on Bellator, I'm gonna tell you on the air. I'm gonna let my man take care of the Bellator until I see something. I feel like I got gypped off my $15. Went to the movie theater to watch it for the show purposes, and all I saw was tomfoolery. Got senior citizens fighting in the main event. You got Vanderlei basically saying that Chael was cheating because all he did was wrestle, and that's part of the bruh. It's not 2000 no more. Pride. He's still doing the pride thing. Like, he pulled guard thinking Chael's gonna be like, okay, let me go in and try to beat you and maybe get you an armbar. Like, he pulled guard. Like, who does that in 2017? Like, he's like Brendan Shaw put it perfectly on air that is like the old school way of thinking. The game has passed Vanderlei by.
I agree. It's just a weird matchup to have headlining that event. I mean, yeah, those names will sell because, again, there's storied history. Everybody knows Chael Sonnen. Everybody knows Vanderlei Silva. So,
but what have they done lately?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Bellator does. Like, that's how Bellator is going to promote their big tentpole shows like this. We're going to find two legends with well-established names that have been in all types of promotions, and we're going to promote the hell out of them. And, that's what they did. I'm interested to see the numbers come back on it. I don't think there's been any numbers released just yet, but I'm interested to see how it did. Gotcha. I'm really interested.
And on a show note, please give us some support and send us questions, emails. Hey, you think we suck? Hey, we work on it. But good or bad, we want feedback. Just help us grow the show. I think that should be our motto. Grow the show. My man Matt, if you see on the stream, got the Slip and Dip podcast shirt. I don't even got one of those. That's a damn original up in this piece.
The OG. That's the OG right there. Brand new. Hot off the presses, literally.
So literally, we're trying to grow the show. So good or bad, we're open-minded. We don't take it personal. We're trying to make this game tight. Kevin Lee's just the tip of the iceberg. We're trying to get this show rolling. We rolling! Yeah! Shout out Bert Watson.
We got to end it on that. That's the way to end the show. Right there. There you go. Oh,